Hello students, today we are reading 4th chapter of Snapshots of class 11, that is Albert Einstein at School, written by Patrick Pringle. This lesson, Albert Einstein at School, is an extract from the biography of Albert Einstein named The Young Einstein by Patrick Pringle. In this lesson, Patrick familiarizes the readers with those years in Einstein's life where he was struggling each day in school. And as each day passed, the school diploma felt like a far-fetched dream. It also throws light upon a few encounters with his teachers, what he felt about the neighborhood he lived in, and how he had only one good friend, Yuri. So let's move to the chapter. Albert Einstein is regarded as the greatest physicist since Newton. In the following extract from The Young Einstein, the well-known biographer Patrick Pringle describes the circumstances which led to Albert Einstein's expulsion from a German school. Biographer means a person who writes an account of someone else. And expulsion means the action of forcing someone to leave an organization. So here, Albert Einstein is regarded as the greatest physicist, or we can say the famous theoretical physicist, and since Newton. And this chapter has been taken from the biography named The Young Einstein, written by Patrick Pringle. The lesson talks about how Albert Einstein hated school, wanted to leave it, and then was forced out of it. Okay, so let's move to the chapter. In what year Einstein, the history teacher, asked the history teacher, did the Persian defeat the French at Waterloo? So we can see the lesson begins with an account of Albert with his history teacher, where the teacher asks him about the year in which the Persians defeated the French at Waterloo. Waterloo is, we can say, the famous Battle of Waterloo. So he was just asking about that. Then Albert replied, I don't know, sir. Then he just, as usual, Einstein doesn't remember it. He was not interested in learning the dates. That's why we can say he just replied that he didn't know. Why don't you know? You have been told it old enough, often even enough. Then history teacher just became a little bit angry, and then he just asked, why don't you know about this thing when you have been told so many times? I have told you this thing so many times to you. Then why don't you remember it? I must have forgotten. Albert again answered that he must have forgotten. Did you ever try to learn? Asked Mr. Brown. So we come to know that the name of the history teacher is Mr. Brown. Then again he asked if he had tried to learn it or not. Right? So he was, we can say, getting angry. No, sir. Albert replied with his usual unthinking honesty. So Albert was totally plain, without thinking. Honestly, he just answered, no, sir, I didn't try to learn. Why not? I can't see any point in learning dates. So now he just justifies that he finds it useless, he finds it pointless to digest dates, to learn dates. So we can say Mr. Brown just, as usual, Einstein doesn't remember the dates, to which Mr. Brown points out that the reason for this is because Einstein never bothers to learn them. And that's why Albert justifies that he finds it totally useless and pointless to digest dates. Why? One can always look them up in a book. Because one can always look them up in books whenever they are needed. So one can always find the dates in the books. So there is no need to learn and to just cram the dates. Mr. Brown was speechless for a moment. So this answer left Mr. Brown dumbstruck for a while. That means he was speechless for a moment, for a few moments. You amaze me, Einstein, he said at last. And then again he just started conversation, and then he again asked, just told Einstein that you always surprises me. Don't you realize that one can always look most things up in books? That applies to all the facts you learn at school. So he just replies and tells him that means most of the things being taught in school can be looked up in the books. Then there is no point in mugging up facts, right? So whenever you are just learning the things, and there is no, learning the things for learning the facts, learning the dates for just appearing in an examination. So what's the use of that when you can find all these things in books? He again answered, yes, sir. Then I suppose you don't see any point in learning facts. So we can say now, just when Mr. Brown was angry, and then again he asked, that means there is no point. That means you don't feel any benefit in learning facts. Frankly, sir, I don't, said Albert. So without realizing anything, that it was just a sarcastic way, he just replied that we can say he agrees with his teacher, without realizing this thing, that this statement was just spoken in a sarcastic manner. Then you don't believe in education at all? Oh yes, sir, I do. I don't think learning facts is education, right? So he has just declared, he just concludes that he doesn't see any point in learning the facts. That means we can say he should not be the teacher also just concludes that he is not interested in learning the facts. So we can say, according to the teacher, he should not be a believer or follower of education. Then Albert very clearly replies that he is not believing in these things, that learning facts is education. In that case, said the history teacher with heavy sarcasm. Sarcasm means we can say the bitter remarks, the words which are spoken to insult someone. Perhaps you will be so kind as to tell the class the Einstein theory of education. So now the history teacher, in an attempt to mock him, to make fun of him in front of the whole class, just asks him about his elaborate views, or we can say opinions, of the ideal education. Albert flushed. That means he became due to embarrassment. He became red due to confusion, or we can say embarrassment. I think it's not facts that matter, but ideas. No doubt we can say Albert was very clear about his ideas of education. He explains that it is useless to acquire knowledge on dates of battles or the number of I don't see the point in learning the dates of battle, or even which of the armies killed more men. So which of the armies killed more men? So that means we can say it is according to him, it is useless to acquire knowledge on dates of battles and the number of men that were killed in war, or which army is killing more men. So that is not important. What is important is to read and analyze the reasons that were responsible for the battle between the two armies, right? So I would be more interested in learning why those soldiers were trying to kill each other. So according to Einstein, what is important? that is to read and analyze the reasons. That means he was just interested in ideas, not in facts or dates. That's enough. Mr. Brown's eyes were cold and cruel. We don't want a lecture from you, Einstein. So here we can say Mr. Brown got extremely angry and interrupted Albert's speech, right? And then he just asked him that I just don't want any lecture from you. You will stay in for an extra period today. Although I don't imagine it will do you much good. That means he just punished him to stay for extra classes. That means for extra time. Even if it were of no good to anyone, including Albert. So it will not do any good to Albert also and to school also. It won't do the school any good either. So that will not be helpful to Albert or school. But you have to stay for extra classes. Then again, you are a disgrace. I don't know why you continue to come. So again, the teacher just calls him a disgrace. That means he just want to express his displeasure of having him around. He doesn't want him to continue his studies or to continue to come in the school. The teacher, that means, called him disgrace. It's not my wish, sir, Albert pointed out. Then again, Albert just pointed out that it's not my wish, sir, that I should continue to just come to school. Then you are an ungrateful boy and ought to be ashamed of yourself. That means you are not thankful to your parents who are just sending you to school. That means you are an ungrateful boy who should be ashamed. And then he just suggests him that I suggest you ask your father to take you away. So then he suggests that his father to take him away from the school. So we can say here that the conversation between Einstein and the teacher just shows Einstein is a man of conviction and firmness. He is brutally frank, or we can say blunt, in his speech. But he is much more intelligent for his age. He has a good sense of arguments also. He, no doubt, that is a clear idea of education what he was having. That is to learn the things, not to learn the facts, but to learn the ideas. Right? Then move to the next. Albert felt miserable when he left school. Miserable means unhappy. So that afternoon, not that it had been a bad day, most days were bad now anyway. So we can say that afternoon Albert was very unhappy when he left school. It was not that day was bad, but in general days were just getting bad at school. And that's why what was the main reason? But because he had to go back to the hateful place the next morning. What was that hateful place? That was his school. So why he was very unhappy? Because he has to go to the hateful place again the next morning. He hated the thought of going to school every morning. Otherwise, his days were just getting bad at school, and that's why he just left school in disgust, or we can say he was feeling very miserable. He only wished his father would take him away, but there was no point in even asking. No doubt, his only wish was that his father would take him to Italy along with him, but it was useless to ask him. Why? because he knew that what the answer would be. He would have to stay until he had taken his diploma. So he knew this thing, that if he would ask his father to take him away from here, then again he would be denied, because he would anyway make him stay here until he completed his diploma. So he has to stay here only. Then going back to his lodgings did not cheer him up. So another wrong thing what was going with him, what was that? School was surely an unpleasant place for Einstein, but his place of stay in Munich was, that is a place in Germany, was nothing better. Why? Because that uh, lodgings means, we can say, the temporary accommodation or a room rented out to someone. So where he was just staying, that place also didn't cheer him up. His father had so little money to spare that Albert had been found a room in one of the poorest quarters of Munich. So, what was the reason? Because of the limited cash availability with his father, he had to stay within the poorest neighborhood in Munich. That's why he was not happy. He didn't mind the bad food and lack of comfort. So we can't say that he was just bothering about the bad food or the lack of comfort there. What, or even the dirt or squalor. Squalor means the state of being extremely dirty and unpleasant, especially as a result of poverty and negligence. So he was not bothering about all these things, about the dirt, about the lack of comfort, or about the bad food. What was the main reason? But he hated the atmosphere of slum violence. That means he was poverty, bad food, dirt, or lack of comfort hardly just bothered him. What was the reason? It was the frequent fights at the place that he hated. That means he didn't like violence at all. Not at all. That means he was not in the favor of frequent fights which were just going on at that place where he was living. His landlady beat her children regularly, so that was the reason that his even the landlady's family was a violent one, where she used to hit her kids, her children every now and then. While and every Saturday her husband came drunk and beat her. While her husband also beat her every Saturday after he came back home drunk. So that was the reason that he didn't like that place, right? But at least you have a room of your own, which is more than I can say, said Yuri when he called round in the evening. Now we come to know, or we are being introduced with the new character, that is Yuri, his good friend. Uh, he's a student of medical science, and he is a good friend of Albert Einstein. So we are introduced to his friend Yuri, who is also not very fortunate. Then he reminds Albert that he should be glad about the fact that at least he has a room of his own to live, even though this neighborhood is not something he likes. Then at least you live among civilized human beings, even if they are all poor students, said Albert. In return, Albert just reminds Yuri that even though Yuri lives among poor students, but at least they are all civilized and non violent. Then again, Yuri just interrupted him. They are not civilized, Yuri replied. Did you not hear that one of them was killed last week in a duel? And what happens to one who killed him? So Yuri interrupts to correct him that not all of them have manners, or they are not civilized. They are not, you can't say them non violent, because only last week one was killed in a fight. Then Albert just want to ask that what happens to the one who killed him, right? To which Yuri just replied, nothing, of course. He is even proud of it. His only worry is that the authorities have told him not to fight any more duels. He is upset about this because he hasn't a single scar on his face to wear for the rest of his life as a badge of honor. So we can say the boy who just killed him did not face any circumstances except never being allowed to play a fight again. So by the authorities he was just warned and he was just left. So he was not punished, and he is even proud of it, that killer, that the boy who killed that another boy. But the only regret that boy had was that he won't be able to show off a scar. Scar means a sign or a mark, or we can say any injury on the face, on his face, which to show off, or we can to show off a scar, or we can say that he just considered that scar as a symbol of bravery. So a sign of honor. Oh, exclaimed Albert. And these are the students. Then Albert signs at the state of the students just pursuing these diplomas. He just called them, and they are just calling themselves as students. Well, you shall be a student one day, said Yuri. Then Yuri gives Albert some hope by saying that he will be a student too, to which Albert expresses his doubtfulness. I doubt it, said Albert gloomily. That means sadly. I don't think I shall ever pass the exams for the school diploma. So he was doubtful that whether he would be able to, just we can say, able to pass the exams. So he expresses his doubtfulness sadly that he would not be able to pass the exams for the school diploma. So up to here we will do, and we will just continue the next part in the next video. Thank you. Have a nice day.